What positive impacts do you think will come from COVID-19? Hygiene. I'm usually sick all the time, but I haven't been sick a day since lockdown. We've been opened back up for months now with social distancing and extra hygiene measures in place everywhere. It's stunning. My kids haven't been sick either. It's like a miracle. Who knew people's gross hands and spittle was impacting my life so much? That actually explains why I haven't been sick since January. I usually get sick around June and September like clockwork, but I feel fine. In college I would get sick every January like clockwork. I haven't gotten sick once since I graduated years ago. College classes, bars and parties are breeding grounds for germs. Probably built my immune system up a lot though lol. Anti-vaxxers have been awfully quiet lately. Not really. They will just be anti-maskers for now. When we get a vaccine for COVID, they will be ready. If the vaccine doesn't become legally required in the US, we will probably be one of the last countries to have COVID. The derailing of facial recognition technology. Even if we're just putting off the inevitable, I'm very okay with delaying it for a few more years. More employers might realize that jobs can be done remotely, allowing more flexibility. More work from home positions might open up. Indeed, office space is extremely expensive, and at this point they'll likely realize how much money they're wasting, money that could be going back into the business. If there's any positive economic connotations to this foobar, it is this, and the further rise in tech. And this has the side effect, positive for most who may want to start a business, of lowering commercial real estate costs. Rent's gotta go down. As someone who is extremely introverted, it's a blessing to get to stay home all day with an excuse. Organizations with abysmally slow internet connections that have not been updated in decades will do so in order to support video conferencing. Best answer I've seen so far. Reduced carbon emissions, I guess, from the lack of cars on the road. Also less air traffic. Weather prediction has been less accurate lately because there have been fewer planes flying and gathering the data. https://www.cnn.com/2020/07/18/weather/fewer flights COVID weather forecast hurricane impact index.html. Till weather predictions rely on commercial planes. Velcro shoes won't sell out as fast. Holy fuck, that's dark. I heard from a friend who left on bad terms 3.5 years ago. I got the most heartfelt apology, and we are planning to hang out soon and catch up. It's the best thing that's happened to me all year. Man, I would love for that to happen. I'd have to unblock them though. Have I forgiven them? I'll think about it now, thanks to you. More help for people with disabilities. Online ordering, grocery delivery, food delivery, it's been nice. Saves me energy when I can make an order for something and do a contactless pickup and they just put it in my car when I drive up. Not everyone has energy to spare for simple things like groceries or errands. Also improvements in telemedicine. People might finally start washing their hands. It's only a temporary buff. Once the next generation arrives, it will be forgotten. Seen it happen many times. I think we need to start science a little bit earlier in school. There was a time when people didn't wash their hands at all, pandemic or no. I think we made some progress before COVID. My blind GF and I are already seeing more video appointments. This is something she has wanted since forever, since she can't drive. Now, insurance is taking doctor and therapy appointments. There are many pickup options for stores at only little or no extra cost. This is good for someone who can't handle walking in the store. I'm mildly physically handicapped and walking over 10 minutes hurts, so this is fantastic for people who are like me and worse. There are more delivery options for people who don't drive. I can see mask wearing while sick becoming more popular in the States even after this settles down, which will help healthy people not get sick as much with colds and help protect the vulnerable who might not handle the everyday cold as well. There's more, but that's my 2 cents. Your blind girlfriend is seeing more? COVID has been really good to you guys. nice. We actually snapped of the celebrity worship mentality for a while. We also see how useless they are in hindsight and how pathetic they are when not in limelight. Imagine probably wasn't their best move. Some people may not agree, but I'm really hoping all the online ordering and contactless delivery keeps going. Mail carrier for USPS, and I wholeheartedly agree with this. Always nice to have validation for what I do for a living. UPS driver here, I agree with you. A lot more curbside shopping and food options. Yes. I did a curbside pickup from IKEA, ordered over $1,000 online Friday morning, drove an hour to the store on Saturday morning, waited less than 5 minutes to be told which stall to park in, and they brought it all out. Loaded myself in 5 to 10 minutes and off I went. Cost me $5 to avoid going into IKEA on a Saturday. Plus, if you're shopping alone, what do you do if you have 2 carts of stuff? Or even 1? I have to leave it on the loading area and make a dash for the car and hope no one takes anything. I'll be using it in the future for sure and hope they do keep it going. I wish I had this option. My closest IKEA pickup for the things I wanted was over an hour away, even though the closest store is 20 minutes away. I have no idea why. People might prefer working from home, which means more jobs and flexibility for businesses. It would be kinda similar to day and night shifts, if you know what I mean. Yay, and more quality time to live life working from home in lieu of the driving rat race, etc., etc. Strong chance we're going to institute income in Canada. Would be nice to use it to go back to school. Remote university degrees are going to be a thing too, probably. Oh, and office work from home. Greater than remote university degrees are going to be a thing too, probably. I'm doing my bachelor online, IT fucking sucks. I prefer 100 times more to go to classes with other people and being able to talk to the teacher, not just PDFs. Many people are starting to realize that a lot of celebrities are pretty worthless and pathetic when they're not the center of attention for 5 seconds. Everyone will want entertainment forever, which celebs are, so probably not. Sociologically, I hope we see paid sick days become normal in the US. Scientifically, I hope we can learn from this to develop good vaccines for a bunch of other existing diseases that have eluded us so far. In Australia we have paid sick leave, but we don't use them when sick, we keep them for nice days and chuck a sickie and go to the beach. Ordering food and drinks at a pub through your phone. While we're talking restaurants, to-go cocktails are the shit. I hope they stick around. The next time universal health care gets as close as it did in Bernie's 2016 primary run, Americans might decide to join the rest of the civilized world. I do wonder what would have happened if COVID had hit just a few months earlier, back when the primaries were just shaping up. Bernie's plan for universal health care would probably have been a major selling point for a lot of people. If in November Bernie could have said, as rough as things are now, under my proposal everyone's coronavirus treatments would be covered and paid for by taxes, no exceptions, I think things would have shaken out very differently. As it was, he was already out of the race by the time things got really bad. I genuinely think that might be one of the great what-ifs of the next decade of politics. That said, as much as Bernie would have been my first pick, Biden is unreservedly the right choice in November. Get out and vote. I thought the same too. Also with Yang's UB. Drive-in move is making a comeback. Yes, agreed. I hadn't been to a drive-in since the 90s and thankfully they started popping up again here in California, so I was able to watch New Mutants and a bunch of classic actions movies this summer. Less traffic. I think people are going to be a lot more conscious of germs and just public surfaces in general. I know for me it's something I think about constantly now. Yes, for one generation. I think it'll be the same effect that children of war grow to respect and work against, but their children think they are being extra and overbearing. I doubt this will be the last pandemic. Carelessness, bad luck, climate change, etc. will see to that. I'm hoping that bathrooms in restaurants will become completely hands-free. I hate that the pull side of the door is on the inside and usually there's no paper towel dispensers anymore to use as a glove to touch the sink/door handles. I vote for more foot pedal controlled faucets and toilets because these motion sensors that never work make me question if I'm a ghost roaming the earth. My dad is in a wheelchair and this sounds like hell to me, but I'm sure for lots of people it's great. Hopefully people will be more conscious of personal space. I'm not a touchy-feely person before this and it's been nice that people aren't invading my bubble hardly now. Same here, I hate touching strangers and for people to be up in my space. I saw a concert a while ago that had a bunch of separate areas for seating rather than people standing around like cattle and I thought they was amazing. It brings in less money sure, but the experience seems more worth it emo. Also just the 6 feet apart and not being so cramped anymore is such a big relief. I love being able to have so much space now. People with the flu/cold wearing masks and taking precautions to not infect others. Seriously, pre-COVID I can't explain with exasperation the amount of times I've seen people that were clearly sick, coughing, wheezing, and sneezing just carrying on about their lives like it doesn't affect those around them. I used to work at a Sprint store and a lady brought her sick kid in once. The kid threw up all over the floor. The lady was like, "Oh yeah, we just came from the drive, she's got the stomach flu, and then you brought her with you so you could upgrade your cell phone and infect everyone in the store." Doesn't help that I was fairly pregnant at the time and paranoid about catching stuff. I really don't understand some people's choices. As a parent who has had a kid throw up in a store, I'd never bring my child to a store if I knew they were sick. In my case, my child was acting fine before we got to the store and complained he wasn't feeling well in the dairy aisle before puking all over the place, and all over me. People washing their hands after peeing. It's not rocket science, dudes. At my workplace when I'm in a cubicle I still hear guys take a dump and walk out after washing their hands. I wish there was a big flashing light outside like in the Far Side comic saying "didn't wash hands." It's already mitigated the stigma associated with working at home. I understand that some people can't handle working from home, but if you can then it should be allowed. It makes you wonder if the point is to get your job done or to micromanage your every action because you're selling your time rather than your output. Greater than I understand that some people can't handle working from home, but if you can then it should be allowed. Introverts, rise. I have started seeing family more regularly online playing games I had no idea about, Jackbox.tv. It's been fun and never would have happened without the pandemic. Plus older family members are bored and want to talk for literally an hour about mundane stuff. I've learned a lot about them that I'd never known my whole life. Plus my dogs get a ton more exercise and I've saved money not going out, plus I am eating healthier with my own cooking.